as you guys know, there's a town hall meeting on Thursday, basically about the reopening of Warren. So tell me a little bit about what you guys were talking about in that meeting.
Sure. So why don't I go ahead and start it off? So the commissioners, I believe I can speak for the entire board, feel that we never should have really been part of the stay-at-home order, or at least certainly not today, due to the fact that we have one active case in Warren County, and we, at this point, don't really have any other ways to kind of combat COVID-19. They've been exhausted, and our people at this point are rather frustrated that we are responding to this crisis and creating, in turn, arguably more crises. And so I'm hearing this from businesses, other elected officials and such, and we're going to bat on behalf of the county and asking the governor to lift the even the yellow designation from Warren County and move us into that green category. And we did that before we even became yellow. We asked to just jump right to that green designation, but it hasn't happened to date. And one of the things that we're kind of missing in advocating on behalf of our county's businesses is those real testimonies. I mean, we do have a handful of them, but we want to give our business owners an opportunity to come to us and on the record state the kind of concerns they have, whether they be for or against moving to the green designation, how it's affected them, what kind of damages it may or may not have happened. We want that stuff to be at our fingertips when we talk to the governor's office about us moving to the next designation, the next phase.
For sure. Does anybody else want to say anything? Or
I think this just is going to allow us to have a pulse point in the community to understand, what the actual state of our county businesses are. And as Ben said, you'd be able to actually communicate that to the governor's office with full knowledge and understanding of what it could mean. And also the opportunity to hear how businesses can go to the green phase and still remain open and safe distance.
definitely, because that's what we're doing down here. So anybody else? Or?
I would just add that we've done town halls in the past and found them to be very informative as far as the information that we get directly from the folks that are in the trenches, dealing with these things on a day-to-day basis. And with all the uncertainty and questions around how to deal with this huge problem, it's really important to give a voice to the folks that are most affected by it. And I think that this will be a good opportunity for that to happen.
Sure. Okay, so I know Tricia talked a little bit about being safe once these businesses are open if the governor approves. So what kinds of things are you hoping to see from these businesses and even customers to keep everybody safe?
Personally, it's all of the things that the governor's outlined as far as safe distancing, as far as wearing a mask, hand sanitizing, and in addition to that, making sure the businesses in the community actually have access to supplies that will allow them to open.
Anybody else?
Yeah, and the businesses that we've talked to have been incredibly conscious of their customers, almost to beyond what is being recommended by the state. So we feel very confident that in most cases, certainly in Warren County, we can't speak for another county, they're very ready to operate in a safe manner based on the recommendations of the CDC.
From my perspective, many of our local small businesses, the mom and pop shops that are closed down currently, are able to do as good a job, if not better, than some of the bigger retail stores that have been open throughout the entire crisis.
Definitely. That's a good point that you bring up.
I would also say that it's important to note that although we're advocating very strongly for the county to move green, we're advocating that it be a safe transition and that people be mindful of this because it is a serious threat. So the things that are being outlined and discussed here are very important for people to keep in mind when they open.
For sure. Okay, perfect. And I think that's all I had so far. Is there anything else that you wanted to add?
I think that's, I'm good.
It's just that if we see, if you are a Warren County business and interested in bringing your testimony to us, essentially to contact the Commissioner's office at 814-728-3402 and kind of sign up ahead of time. So the public is certainly welcome to jump on, but it's not kind of going to be a free-for-all, just because unlike a in-person town hall, it's going to be really hard to control a digital conversation like this without kind of a sign up. So we're asking the businesses to tell us in advance whether or not they're wishing to actually speak. And if they're not able to, certainly send us a letter or an email, and we'll be happy to take that as well.
Okay, perfect. Anybody else?
I think that's a great wrap up.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. That's perfect. But thank you so much again for your time. I really appreciate it. I know this was very last minute, so I really appreciate all of you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good
You guys
evening.
have a great evening.
Thank you.
You too.